You know, and then, so this is my backup hat that I bought from that sponging boat. Right? So that's my backup hat.
That's SpongeBob. His real name is Dean Halbert, but no one calls him that anymore. Kim and I took a road trip down to Florida, and a big part of that trip was down in the Keys. We got down here and we were digging around, and somebody said, "You gonna talk to SpongeBob, Nick?" Everybody knows SpongeBob. He's a real character around these parts. So we booked a trip with SpongeBob on his eco-kayak adventure out of Marathon Key. It's really neat. You paddle out into the mangroves on Boot Key, where SpongeBob and his guide Lexi tell you about the history of the island and all the wildlife inside.
But the mangrove tree, a seed came over from Asia, floating in the water, and I'm going to show you these seeds, and planted itself on some seaweed, and then started growing, and it throws down the roots, and this is a root right here.
You can see all sorts of animals, lots of jellyfish called Cassiopeia that sit on the bottom to sting predators. We saw fire coral. Don't touch that. It hurts real bad, SpongeBob said. And starfish. You can pick those up. They're friendly.
They start growing from a seed like that, and then they grow like this, and this is one seed. And what's interesting about this is there's two branches here. Now look at this.
We were out on our adventure, and SpongeBob pointed out, look at all these people that live on their boats. He said, there's more people living on their boats in this harbor than any other place in the country, including me. Well, I was like, well, we need to talk to you then, SpongeBob. Show us your life. So after the kayak journey, I asked if he'd show us around the harbor and take us out onto his boat. Now, there's about 100,000 liveaboards like SpongeBob in the U.S., and that number's going up because the cost of living's going up. It's like van life, but you're on the water. Some just live on their boats because they love the lifestyle. But everybody I talk to has a plan of some sort. They're going to fix up their boat and sail away, or maybe trade up for a bigger boat. Some of them have day jobs, some are retired, and some hustle for their day-to-day living expenses. But it's a simple life, really. You boat to shore to get what you need. And it's $0 to anchor offshore, or on the hook, as they call it. But you need gas for generators and to get on shore and for groceries and whatnot. Just like SpongeBob. And here's his story right now. Oh, here he comes. The legend, the man himself, SpongeBob. What's up? Good to see you. Yeah, tell me about your truck, SpongeBob.
Well, I mean, I just thought that this would be fitting for being someone on the brine and being in the Keys. And, you know, it's a 48 Willys completely built with nitrous. You know, the Mad Max flavor with the, meaning from the Mad Max show, the 500-pound bumper, you know what I mean, to plow through anybody. You know, nitrous on the back, right here's the nitrous tank, you know, and right there. So flip the switch and you know, 1,000 horsepower. So anyway, but it really represents the Keys, and that's really what I do. I mean, I try to be of the brine, you know, and been here since I've been a kid. Didn't stay the whole time, but again, this is my retirement years. That's me.
All right.
So trading it in for that one. I'm trading that one for this one.
You're trading the Durango in for the 1945 Willys.
Yep, 48 Willys.
48 Willys.
Yep.
All right, so can we just go?
Absolutely.
Take a quick and like 15 minutes on the front of the boat and then head back?
No problem at all.
All right.
That's why I left it running.
All right. This is his main mode of transportation right here. This is his vehicle to get to and from work. Not sure the model, but it's inflatable. And the engine's quiet. Yes, sir. How long have you been out here?
I've been out here since the 70s. And but this last time I just came back. I mean, what happens is you meet your wife. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. Am I facing you?
You're gonna be sitting on that. It's okay, we'll switch. You just get in there.
All right.
And then you're gonna sit over here, okay?
All right.
Whoops. Yep, if you sit more on that side, that'll be awesome.
All right.
That'll balance us off.
I'll balance this. All right.
Yeah.
I'm good right here?
But I used to just come in by kayak. I used to pull my kayaks in, 4 or 5 at a time. Now I've got, I've got 10 on my boat. I live out in the water. Like I said, try to be of the brine, of the salt, literally, I used to actually live on the island back there. So back by the radio tower. And my brother and I sort of get sibling rivalry, and so one day we were going to get into it, and I was like, okay, no more, and I saw this yacht that was a Hurricane Irma victim, and it was marooned where this other boat was. We'll see it here in a little bit. But I literally raised it up out of the ocean and commandeered it using maritime wrecking laws, and lived on it for 5 years until I bought the new yacht that I'm living on. So, but this is the harbor that we go through, and the natural ecosystem of the Keys, the only island that's left with its natural habitat per se. So.
And from what I was told, this is the most lived on key in the country for people that live on boats or something like that?
It's the largest residential boat harbor in the United States. And I haven't seen any of the other boat harbors, but most boat harbors are pretty small. They're like this size. This goes for 3 miles in that direction, and gives you some type of safety during the hurricanes. But then again, there were 1,000 boats moored here during Hurricane Irma, and only 9 survived. 9. So you got to be right against the mangroves.
All these boats people live in?
Every single one's a live-in. That's my new boat right there. Right here, the sailboat. I mean, it's new to me, but it's got a full 1-bedroom, the big screen TV, the full kitchen, full bathroom. Those are my big 15-inch stage speakers on the back. And then the other boat, the engine was ruined. The engines were ruined, so I had to put an outboard on it to make it legal. That's my jet ski dock, but I bought the hot rod instead of the jet ski.
So everybody's gonna wanna know, how did he get the name SpongeBob? What's up with the hat?
Okay, so how I got the name SpongeBob is I'm a ginger, and I'm very sensitive to the sun. And I was doing an eco tour for another company, and when I was working for them, and I forgot my hat for the second day, and I saw this sponge hat, or I saw it wasn't a hat, it was a sponge on the sea bottom, and you can see I'm just a ginger, right? I'm bald, and on the second day without my hat, I was burning, and anyway, I saw this hat, and I pulled it right up out of the ocean, put it on my head, and not only did it make my sunburn feel good, but days later I realized, or the next day, that I was still cool. I mean, it keeps you cool for 24 hours. It's the most utilitarian hat I've ever had. Whenever I get hot, I just dip it in the water. I have different Bluetooths now. These are bone induction, and so I don't know about dipping it in the water this year. So we'll see. But I used to just dip it in the water all the time, and then people just started calling me SpongeBob, and it just stuck, and it fits so well with what I do. It's all part of the, being of the brine per se. Being of the salt.
So how long have you lived on that boat, or on a boat?
Okay, so that big boat there that I commandeered, right? In between those 2 boats, that big boat, I lived on that boat for 5 years, and I just moved on to the sailboat. I just moved on to my sailboat, and I'll slip in over here so we can see it better. I just moved on to the sailboat in the last, 10 months maybe. And a sailboat's super, super nice, comparatively. I mean, the big boat was underwater, so I had to pump the water out and redo the floors and just put it all back in shape again. And I mean, if you want, I'll take you over to the sailboat. It's amazing. You get in the sailboat, you're blown away how big it is.
Sure.
For how small it is. We'll go in for a second. I mean, it's messy as can be, but I mean, I'm on the water, and my maid, it's ironic because she's coming over today. And,
You have a maid?
well, I mean, you get spoiled, and, but yeah, I have someone who does my internet. I have a maid. I have an eco tour guide now, Lexi, that you met. And it's very difficult to train somebody, to go back in there because it's a maze, from what you saw. And, and the ongoing joke is I'm not paid to bring you in, I'm paid to bring you back out again.
I mean, a lot of people would probably say, you got it made, man. You got the life. You live on a boat. You get to just do your thing.
I'm extraordinarily blessed, and about the only thing that that I'm missing is, my wife passed a couple years ago. So it would be nice to have, eventually I'll find someone who can keep up, per se. That's my big challenge, having somebody my age that can keep up. And so.
Have you always been this quirky, zany, interesting, fascinating guy?
I don't know, I had colored braids on the back of my head for years, and then I went broke one year and I cut them off, and it didn't change anything, but I used to go down to Mexico all the time, and you know how they thread the threads into it, and I had long hair in the back.
All right, so this is a sailboat.
Yeah.
This is where you live.
24/7. And it's messy, but and I can grab my bag.
Permission to board.
Absolutely.
All right. This is where all the magic happens.
Yeah, come on in.
All right. So you got your sink here.
Yeah.
You got your living room. Oh, you got your flat screen.
Bedroom with another flat screen over there.
Okay. Oh, you got another bedroom.
And TV's back around the corner.
Oh yeah.
It tucks on underneath. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing how big. This is like one of the biggest, fattest sailboats you can get. And then so this is my backup hat that I bought from that sponging boat. Right? So that's my backup hat. And you can feel how soft it is, but it's just a sponge.
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, literally it's one of these. And that's what they process them for. But again, most utilitarian hat I've ever had because it keeps me cool. And for what I do, living on the water, being of the brine, as it were, so called, it fits. I think the truck was the final thing. I think actually the final thing that'll put it all together will be when I get a jet ski for the jet ski dock. Yeah, it's a surreal life that I feel extraordinarily blessed in, and this is it. This is my gig.
There's got to be some downsides to living on a boat.
Yeah, I mean, bringing water, like I'm almost out of water. Now when I say out of water, turn it on. I've got water, right? Bathroom, shower, whatnot, but you got to bring the water here. And I live, amazingly, off 50 gallons a week, okay? I take a 2-gallon shower, right? And, and usually a freshwater shower every other third day or something, and then jump in the water, in the ocean. I mean, that's the salt, you know what I mean? So skin's always good and exfoliated. And it does get hot. Like normally I have the air conditioner on.
This is your AC?
Yeah. And so I turn on the generator, turn on the AC, and I'm fully solar powered. Like right now, it's interesting because I can Oh, what a let's see if I can do this. I mean, for a boat, this boat is decked out really nice because, I mean, I've got permanent internet. Check it out.
Got internet out here. Are you on satellite internet?
No, just T-Mobile.
How do they get the cable out? How does that?
It's wireless.
Okay. Coming from.
Right, and then my solar keeps the signal on, and of course I've got cameras, you know, and I've got one of these in the bedroom too, and but again, it's all about just working
Right
out,
now, President Donald Trump
working
is
out the
in
quirks.
China for a
I'm gonna
highly
turn that
anticipated
off.
summit
Yeah.
with the country's president, Xi Jinping.
And then I guess the city comes by and pumps you guys out once a week.
Yep. Yep. And what am I trying to find here?
So is this your life, dude? Is this going to be it for you? Are you ever going to go back to a regular mainstream way of living?
No. I mean, you know, maybe when I get older. But you know, meanwhile, for now, yeah, this is it. You know, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do.
How would you describe your outlook on life?
Well, I think I've been extraordinarily blessed, and you know, to be able to retire this way, and I mean, I have my Social Security, and then I have the company, and to be able to do eco tours, you know, and you know, everything sort of works by itself. I mean, we have 60,000 people a month that come here, so it's always about, you know, working your marketing for the internet. And there's Misty.
Oh, hey, Misty. How are ya?
Misty does all my internet work for me.
Oh, okay.
Misty,
We're
this
just doing a little interview with him.
This is Nick, and Nick is doing for his YouTube channel.
Can I show you at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
show me.
All right.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't show me. Okay.
No, and Misty does my internet, and she helps me out here on the boat.
Yeah.
And she is a very, very good friend of mine, and she is a brethren of the water too. Okay.
You live on a boat too.
She lives on her sailboat. So. That was my girlfriend as of yesterday. That would have put this whole thing together. That would have put this whole thing together. You know, and that's not, you know, that's appropriate picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what she looks like.
Okay.
You know, and
that's your girlfriend. Oh,
yeah.
But you
no,
broke up already.
Well, I mean, sort of. You know, but that would make everything complete, right, Misty? If we had a significant other, right?
That's right.
Yeah. That's really what it puts it all together. You know that.
Your dinghy's, our engine's running. We turn it off or
No. We're heading out.
We're heading out. Yeah.
I'm gonna open up the hatch. I mean, unless you want the air conditioner on.
No, hatch is fine.
Hatch is fine? Okay.
All right. He's getting the boat ready. Misty's gonna come in and do some stuff, I guess.
But I mean, you wouldn't think from that boat. It looks like the boat's. It looks small comparatively for what you have inside of it, you know. And it's all about the layout, you know, of the boat. Like you take all these, like this sailboat's bigger, but it doesn't. You know, it's very cramped. You know.
Yeah, it's longer, but it's narrower.
Yes, most sailboats are very narrow. And of course, that's the bridge to nowhere. And that's Boot Key, where we got to see the evolution of how the islands were made from a seedling to an actual island. The only island left in the Florida Keys that has its natural habitat. And that's what we did yesterday.
And you used to live there.
I used to live on the island back by that radio tower back there, and it's one of the reasons that I'm so intimate with the island. But then, well, you know, as soon as you move out here to the harbor, you start exploring every nook and cranny. you know, everywhere. You go around, you know, and especially when you're traveling by kayak.
This area is very important to you, the ecosystem, and protecting it and educating it, people about it.
Well, you know, when Flagler built the railroad, you know, he took the ecosystem, and I'm sure he didn't realize what was going on, but he filled in all the rivers that we went on, right? And the river caves, it's where the ceiling and the walls of the caves are leaves and branches, right? And it's like a tunnel that cuts through that island to a freshwater lake in the middle of the island where the seeds flourish. And nowhere else in the Florida Keys does that exist anymore. And so that was and this bridge, of course, you know, that's a whole nother story, but it's been closed for 50 years now, and it was all because of that radio tower, which is much too long a story to go into, right? And but basically just the illegal city that was out there, and you know, from all the immigrants, and they closed the island. And since they closed the island, half of the island is in its natural habitat. It's got actually 10 miles of those rivers, right? I mean, wow, right? So we only went through 1.5 miles, you know, when we went in, but there's just rivers all around. So, but it does always, you know, for coming out here, and you know, in life you have your ups and your downs. And I was coming up from a down, staying with my brother out on the island on his houseboat by the radio tower, and then, you know, commandeering that boat. You know, I mean, that boat's massive inside. It's I mean, mine's laid out better, right? But it's huge, and it's like an old Corvette on the water. So I was able to use maritime wrecking laws to legally own that and commandeer it. And the key behind it was putting that outboard motor on it. Listen, you have to be, to live out here on the water, you have to be of the salt. It is definitely a certain mindset to live out here and to be committed, you know, because you know, power is one of your first challenges. Water, mobility, you know, you got to be able to get your boat into the island during a hurricane. So it's protected. I mean, in a hurricane, more than 9 out of 10 boats 19 out of 20 boats are not going to make it, right? So, and it's actually I mean, you think about the numbers: 1,000 boats during Irma, and 9 survived. Wow, right? And now that's, of course, in the harbor. You've got to take your boat and you've got to put it like right against. And the problem with that is it deep enough to where you can bring your sailboat in if you have a keel, you know, and then you're going to be washed. Like my boat was washed into the into such shallow water that I had to wait 3 months for a king tide, for the tide to be high enough to get the boat off of where it was in the shallows, you know, and we only get about a good king tide about 4 times a year. Right, and so, and commandeering it, you know, you can take that black boat right there, but to commandeer it, you have to get on it, start working on it, right? Whether it's engine or whatever it is, and then when the FWC, the Federal Wildlife Commission, who is like the SWAT on the water here, come up, you have to say, I am staking this boat. I am gonna own this boat. And I'm filing the paperwork for it and whatnot. And they're gonna go, we're gonna get you for trespassing if you get off, unless you get off the boat. And you go, nope. I am. I'm turning around and I'm turning around and staking a claim. And that's my brother right there.
Oh, on the red boat.
Yep. Nice boats. I mean, look, right?
Oh my God, how much do you think that boat is?
$1.5 million, if not 2 million.
What about that little green one right there? Not little, that sailboat. Carrie Ann?
100,000, you know? I mean, I doubt 100, you know, probably 200.
All right, how about this catamaran? What's that cost?
Island Girl? couple 100,000. But this is like the premier yacht club here. I mean, the harbor.
In the whole
Yep.
country. Wow, what about that boat, Dean? How much is that boat?
Couple million.
Do you ever take your boat away from here and go sail around and pudge around and come back?
My boat's too new for that. So, I don't know if my brother will go on camera or not.
All right, SpongeBob saw his brother Jeff down here, and we're gonna see if we can talk to Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, people are constantly, coming back and forth. But this is a snowbird, a snowbird resort, per se. This is you come here and wow, look, my brother's got his own floating dock there to keep the boat clean. He's probably at the Cuban place right now getting coffee.
All right.
That's his Harley right there. He's got the life.
Where is it?
That Harley, the yellow one.
That's your brother's motorcycle.
Yeah, and that's my brother's Beamer, and then that's his boat right here.
So he's got a Beamer and a Harley parked in the parking lot, and his boat right here.
Yeah, he probably took off on the truck. My dad passed away 30 years ago and left us a houseboat. And left it to all the kids. And my brother was the one who grabbed it from Miami, and he towed it down. And he made a deal with the guy who owns the radio tower. It's the only part of the island that's privately owned is the radio tower. And it's sort of like where we went, right? It's not sort of, that's what it's like, except for it's a channel about half this size right here. And with mangrove trees on each side, and
he lives out there, and then boats in here and gets in his Beamer and goes and drives around the Keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it made too, man.
Yeah. And I don't know if did you try calling Bugman? My girlfriend's actually staying with him. And again, I say that very loosely,
Your girlfriend is staying with Bugman.
We were engaged, and Bugman's this 70-year-old, ornery old goat, who's of the brine as well. He's traveled all throughout the United States on his cabin cruiser. He's got a cabin cruiser just like that one. Everybody knows SpongeBob. Everybody knows you. It's SpongeBob. It's funny. I mean, my name's Dean, but everybody knows SpongeBob, so that's worked out really well for me. The hat and being a ginger totally worked for me. And my eco tour is out right now. They should just about be heading back.
On our way back to the docks, we had to stop for a second. Two of the kayakers on one of his eco tours were having trouble getting back to shore. SpongeBob to the rescue.
Stay at the right pole.
Whoa. I'm getting in the shallows.
Uh-oh. We got drama here.
Huh? Oh, we're stuck.
Uh-oh. We gonna have to push? You don't have a depth finder on this thing?
Are you kidding? See, I just ran in the shallows.
We mudded them. You rolled coal. You rolled mud.
That's what you do when you get stuck like that. I'll tell them to wait.
I feel like if there's anybody I'd want to have trouble with out here to be with you. I feel like we'd get out of any predicament.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to my brother, Guys, you're gonna wait right here at this white pole, okay? Until Lexi comes up. Hey, Lexi, you go with them. I'm gonna tow them in, okay? I'm gonna try.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Don't tip them over.
Oh boy.
Don't tip us over, Dean.
Don't you guys tip us over. We're doing a rescue mission here with Dean. We're gonna take these two lovely ladies back after they had a wonderful excursion in the mangroves.
Okay, now we're on vacation.
Now you're on vacation, ladies. Must be the life. You are beloved out here, you know that?
Yeah.
That was neat that SpongeBob allowed us to see his life up close. I bet there's a lot of people who would like to live like him and not have to answer to anyone. Too bad we're all so stressed out about our mortgages and responsibilities.
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that report from America. So we've been to every state now, and we know so many great places that most people don't know about. If you're trying to figure out where you should move, I can help. Email me, and I'll tell you about how I can find you the perfect place for you to move to. And if you need a realtor, I can help you with that as well. No one else knows America more than Nick and Kim and Mappy. This is my email. You can also find it in the description or on the channel. Okay, so a lot of people email me and they comment and they say, "Where should I move, Nick?" Well, I do consulting for that, as you know, but a lot of people want to do their own research. So I have published an ebook. That's right. Email me and I'll send you my comprehensive and always updated guide on the best places to move in each state. We're always traveling, so we're always updating the book. Find the best places to live in America from the people who have seen more of America than anyone else. That's true. Google it. And don't forget to follow our main channel on YouTube. It's called Nick Johnson. We travel all over the country and show you a way of life in America that you've never seen before. We're the most traveled channel on YouTube now. You should check it out.